Josh Christopher is a solid driver to the rim and is a solid three-point shooter. He could help with this. Brandon Clark scored 10 points, 4 rebounds, and 1.4 assists. Even though he was injured for a little bit of the season, he was still solid. Since Steven Adams is going to be gone for a little bit, he could help rebounding. On to Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane has been a solid three-point shooter and is probably one of the best three-point shooters in the league, if not the best. He will help, and he's a solid 1, 2, 3 option with John Morant's absence. He will be one of the best players, and I expect him to have a breakout season. Now, a couple years or seasons back, Derrick Rose was an upcoming six-man. He will help out with the bench and be a great locker room presence. Since he's an MVP caliber player when he was in his prime, I think it will help John Morant become a MVP candidate even further and further out help his game even more. Marcus Smart, a great defensive player, and will help a lot with Jaren Jackson and bring a little bit off his shoulder, and also will fill in for John Morant's 25-game absent. Marcus Smart and Derrick Rose will help a lot with the in-game presence and the locker room, as they can bring tremendous veteran help, since the Memphis Grizzlies don't have as many veterans as usual other teams. Jaren Jackson is a reigning Defensive Player of the Year and is now an All-Star, first-time All-Star. He averaged 16 points and 3 blocks a game. I think he deserved this All-Star appearance, and I could see a little big splash. Now, I get the people calling him a fraud NBA player, a fraud and Defensive Player of the Year, and a fraud All-Star, but I think he deserved this one, and I think that he should have finally got one. Very happy for him. Now, at the best, I see the Grizzlies finishing a third, fourth, somewhere in the top 4 defensive teams, with Marcus Smart and players such as Kenneth Lofton, who could be playing in the starting lineup. With Jaren Jackson and Marcus Smart, they will be one of the best defensive duos or counterparts, so I'm very excited to see that. Jake LaVaria is going to be playing a little bit on the bench for a while. Now, since players like Dillon Brooks gone and isn't going to be able to shoot the threes, I think that they rely on Jake LaVaria as much as they can and Santi Aldama as much as they can. Now, Zaire Williams. I think Zaire Williams will spend most of his time on a 2-way contract for part of the season and play on the last games of the season. Probably just play on the bench for a little while until he gets and earns his time as a starter. Santi Aldama. He's seen a lot of improvement in the World Cup, the FIBA Cup. I've seen a little bit of improvement, such as shooting the three, getting rebounds. I expect him to be a pretty good player, and I think that he'll probably be in the starting lineup for the 25 games, for the first 25 games since John Morant's absence. John Morant has become underrated due to the 25-game suspension. Since he has 25 games, 4 to 6 weeks to practice, he can work on his jump shot and how to get better for the upcoming 23-24 season and his debut on the 23-24 season. Taylor Jenkins is one of the best coaches, in my opinion. He probably ranks around the top 10 best coaches, just like his team in defense and just in general, their record. Taylor Jenkins can guard for a full season and have him for the full season, along with Derrick Rose and Marcus Smart for a full season. And they'll get to see Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr. play very well for the first 25 games. Hopefully for the whole season, since John Morant's gone, the shots will have to go somewhere. So most likely they will go to Marcus Smart, Desmond Bane, Luke Kennard, Jaren Jackson, and Steven Adams. The Memphis Grizzlies starting lineup will most likely be Derrick Rose, Marcus Smart, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Steven Adams.